Okay, let's get creative. Today we're gonna create backgrounds. It's gonna be super easy to set that up because I wanna focus on doing that in the easiest way. For that simple reason, it's just a lot of fun. So for myself, I created some backgrounds every time I tried out a new Linux. And I'm doing this since 4 months, and then I always find myself enjoying this progress. So what I created, nothing fancy. I have better stuff than that. I have to say that, you know, because I'm doing it for a while. But from here to here, I think those are quickly created things, and this one, for example, is, you know, we can go through that. Nothing special, but it's all about lightning. And here we used even an interesting shader, but very simple setup. And we're gonna do something like that. Also, it's gonna be interesting. This one, I think we're gonna do something like that today because it's super fancy. And it's not difficult, actually. We don't have to use geometry nodes, but we will use some modifiers. I'm gonna show you the project. Where am I? This one, Hintergrund Bilder, that just means backgrounds, and I think this is the new one from yesterday. And today I adjusted some settings, and I just want to do this today. So you can, you know, create your own backgrounds. It's very, very much fun. And also you can see there is a little funny thing which happens. You will learn about this too. I just have to increase the level viewports. And there must be an empty here. So now look at this, what happens when I move around with my mouse here. You see that? Huh? That's cool, right? Here's a similar thing going on, although this guy reacts to this one, see? Zip. It's just funny. And the rest is really just lighting. So we don't have to use compositor or anything fancy. I want to keep it as simple as possible so that everybody can do that. And let's get started. Also, maybe you just want to see the scene in here. Yeah. You don't see the character because I moved the pictures. It's not a problem, actually. It's not about that right now. Okay, I would say though, well, maybe I keep it open if I need to check something. I mean, it's good to have a reference for me. What am I doing here? Yeah, the operating system here, Pop OS, is new, and I like the feature here. You can turn on window organization or whatever this is. Anyway, doesn't really matter. Let's start a Blender again. It's also a reason why I do create those backgrounds. Every time I have a new operating system, I test Blender, and then I again find myself enjoying this a lot because there is no wrong doing here. You know, whatever you do is gonna be fine. Okay, we're gonna keep everything. We have here a cube. We have here our little. When we press the numpad key. The own numpad key, we jump into the camera. So if you don't have a numpad key, I do not know how to jump into the camera, actually. There must be a way though. Then you have to Google that one. I've never tried that without a num key. But anyways, one thing we're gonna do for sure, if we press the num O key or 0 key, and I press Shift F, I can fly around, right? You cannot do that by default. You have to go for that into Edit, then Preferences, and then you can go to key maps, and under key maps you can type in here fly, and then you see I have a shortcut created. Shift F is my shortcut. If I'm in the camera view and I press Shift F, I am able to fly around in the scene with the camera and actually also without the camera. So when I jump out of the camera by holding down the mouse wheel, you know, I can, you know, and I'm in the camera, pressing the mouse wheel and turn the camera, I can basically you know, get out of this. Shift F, I press now, I can now go through the scene. If I scroll up the mouse wheel, I'm faster. If I scroll down the mouse wheel, I'm slowing down, and so on. Okay, that's just something I'm gonna cover because we can, you know, position ourselves easier in this way. Yeah. Okay, making this one here bigger. See, this is the window tiling I was talking about. It's kind of cool actually. So that's the one thing. The other thing is, I would say for our purpose, we wanna be in shading only. So let me click on shading. And it takes a while. Maybe I should, no, I'm actually fine. But it takes a little bit long. I don't know what's going on. It should not take too long. I'm pausing until it's done. And here we go. Yeah. So we are in shading, pressing the O key again. And now we're gonna switch the render from this here. Well, let me just close this here. So we switch the render from, what is that called? Viewport shading to viewport shading. From solid to rendered. Yeah, we switched from solid to rendered. I was never reading that, I think, in all the time. Maybe I was, but I don't know. Yeah, anyway. Okay, good, we have this one. I'm gonna jump into this menu here. Right now we are in Eve. Later we will switch to cycles. It produces a little bit better picture. And when it comes to picture, cycles is great, I think. Okay, but for now, for performance and for the first idea we want to play around, we stay in Eve. If possible, turn on ray tracing if your machine can handle that. My machine is really a little bit overwhelmed, but the operating system is still new and maybe there's some stuff going on. I'm gonna go to edit preferences and just check something for myself. I go to system and no, it should be fine actually. Okay, I'm gonna close this here. And yeah, so we have the cube, we have the camera, we can fly around, we are in a different we are in sculpting, we're not in shading actually. We have to go to shading. Here we go. Something was really weird. Speaking of all those tags here, I like to have things organized. So I'm gonna just right click and delete everything. There is also a way to save that after doing this. I'm gonna right click every tag which is open I don't like and say delete, delete, delete. Then I go to layout, delete. I don't need layout, I don't need that, I don't need that. Here we go, that's all we need. We don't need this one here. I'm gonna go with the mouse over the border here and say join left, and now I'm gonna say join left and drag this down here a little bit like so. Jump from, what is that, material preview to rendered again, and now scroll out a little bit. Shift A, I'm gonna add the plane. So we have a ground, so the plane is here. I'm gonna press S to scale it up, make it huge, like so. And now I'm gonna jump into the camera again, and Shift F when we do, and now press Tab while I'm in the fly mode. I fall down, and now when I do that, I can actually walk around on the plane. See how cool that actually is? When you press you know, tab in the fly mode, then tab, then you can walk. It's kind of like a game almost. And speaking of a game, let's adjust that a little bit. You see the camera here? This is a camera view. For our purpose, I like to see only what the camera can see. So we click here on the little camera icon, data, then we click on the viewport display, and we say pass. What is that called? Whatever this is called. Something with P. Full up. You see what happens? So I like that personally. It's a, you know, but it's optional. If you don't like that, don't use it. And also we're gonna change the vocal length. That's if you're coming from a gaming perspective, this is your FOV. Is it FO or U? FOV, right? I think so. Yeah, you know what I mean when you're a gamer. This is basically like we change it to in game it would be like 120, but here it's 30, kindish, you know, it's kind of like that. So I like it. It's just, you know, a personal preference. So we have here a cube, and we could bring this guy up to, when we press the N key now, we get this one here. So the cube is always, you know, his middle position is exactly at 0. I'll bring it up to 1, and now we're gonna say right click. I don't say right click. What am I saying? We say click the while the cube is still active. Control A, all transformation. So now his home is this address here. When I grab the cube by G and position it here, and I hold down while the cube is still active, hold down Alt and G, it resets. If shortcuts do not work, then there is some program interfering with that, like NVIDIA overlay can interfere with that. Any kind of overlay can actually interfere with that. Sometimes even the operating system can interfere with the shortcuts of Blender. You have to know that. I had this experience with NVIDIA overlay. I had this experience with some Linux shortcuts, which, yeah. So keep that in mind. Yeah, and now let's do what you want to do. You know, it's about making things look great, and we keep it simple. Again, we don't use fancy shaders or anything, but let's give some colors here too. Let's say here we're gonna give the ground a material. We go to material, click on the ground and the material here, and now we say new. And in my case it takes a little bit longer, something off, and we're gonna use a different color, a little bit dark but not too dark, you know. And then we say roughness full, for now at least. I like this right now. You see, we could make, if you like the shiny stuff, you know, turn it down to shiny, but I'm gonna keep it for like so for now. And you can already go and give the cube some modifiers. We could give him like a nicer look, some bevel maybe, right? And then turn this one here on, and like so. Again, I click on the cube, I go to the add modifier, I go to add bevel, and then I increase the segments to make the corners rounder, and that looks, you know, looks interesting. And then you can change the, when you click into this window and left click and hold the mouse key, you can push the mouse to the left or to the right and increase this value easily. Look, now we have a cube. Look at this in a different way, you know. This is not, it's interesting, right? We can do some stuff with that. Whatever you want to do, feel free. It's your background. You can do whatever you like, okay? But I don't need bevel right now. I actually have to check what I need in my other window. So I'm gonna, it's not that complicated setup, so it's gonna be fun for you. Let me just, I have here something open here. There's a little window here which is open. I want to close that. Why is this here open? Ah, this is this guy here. Interesting, something is happening here. Anyway, I have here some little problems going on. Can I make something happen? Try something. No, I got it. Okay, you couldn't see that I had some problems with the window tiling. Anyway, okay, let's go through the modifiers. So let's get rid of that. So our cube is our cube again. It's our default cube, nothing fancy. First of all, we're gonna press either you press Control and 1 while the cube is active in this window, then we add automatically subdivision, or we go to add modifier and say generate, and then say subdivision surface, and we're gonna change this here to a higher value. For now we only use 4, and this one also 4, and now it's a ball. We don't want to have a ball right now, we want to have a cube. Still, it's basically subdivided plenty of times. We cannot see that. Maybe there's a way to turn this on. I kind of forgot. Let's see if I go to this option. Let me just check quickly if this is possible. There was a way to make this visible. I think it was that one here. when I turn this on, maybe in the edit mode. Interesting. Interesting. Let me try something before we go back quickly. Ignore that for now. I want to just test something. Yeah, okay, this one works. Yeah, this shows us, but it doesn't work with the other option. Okay, I undo everything. Oh, you know what? Okay, let's do this again. Default cube, jump into the camera. Although we can just, you know, look at this like so for now. That's fine. Again, navigating with the mouse wheel. Okay, add modifier, and then let's go ahead and get a subdivision surface modifier. Say 4 for now. This one also 4. This means viewport. How many subdivisions do we see in the viewport, and how many do we see in the render? It should be always the same, if at least at the end, you know. Otherwise, it looks different, you know. You know what I mean. Okay, let's go to symbol. Now it's still a cube, but it's still subdivided. And next thing is we're gonna add to this list here a little wave. We're gonna add a wave. So we go down, say generate, and we say, is it deform maybe? Yeah, wave. And now you can see this guy already behaves. If you use the wave like this and we would play an animation, it would do some bubble stuff. It's cool, you know, can use that for a bunch of things. You can change those things too here. I like the wave thing a lot, but I don't want to have any movement. So I'm going to say the speed, I'm going to set the speed to O. So that means whatever I now adjust will be fixed no matter what I do. Okay. So, but here's the interesting thing. You can combine that with other things. So when I, for example, add to the scene, Shift A, I'm going to add an empty here. An empty is there. I make it bigger by press. I don't actually have to make it bigger. You can see the empty is added here. You can see that. But we don't really see it. A way to make it more visible is either going through you know, something like that, but we don't want to do that. I'm going, instead of that, the empty is selected. You can see this empty here. We go down to, in this window here, on the object's properties, we go to visibility, and we go further to viewport display, and we say show the name and make it always in front. And this way we can see this guy no matter where it is. That's good. It's going to be helpful. So now we're going to click on the cube again, and we'll still play the animation. So now we're going to click on the cube again, and we say the start position of the wave shall be the cube. And now when I move the cube, you see something is happening. If you have a plane, you can make a ghost like that, you know, with the same principle. Let me show that to you. For now, I'm going to save this here to desktop. For now, I'm going to call this here YouTube. And let me just push this guy aside. I'm not explaining the keys right now because I'm just fastly showing you a different way. This would be a plane here, right? I make it bigger. I say, because I made it bigger and I want to use it for, with modifier, I have to apply the change, meaning that when you resize in the object mode, the modifier doesn't know it's resized. So it's always misbehaving in a weird way. If you don't know what I mean, forget about it. It just know it's a thing. It'll make more sense when you use it Blender more. So you press Shift A, no, Control A, and say apply scale. That's important right now. And now I'm gonna, while the plane is still selected, I hold down Shift and press the cube. Oh wait, no, I select the plane first. It's yellow. I hold down Control and select the. No, it was Shift, sorry. Okay, while the plane is still selected with the yellows, the first selected, I hold down Shift and then the cube. And now, in this way, I say, this is important. This one is selected first, this one selected secondly. Now I hold down Control L and say copy modifier. Now this plane has the same modifier as the cube. It's an easier way to you know, get your modifiers back. I'm gonna hide the other thing here a little bit. So now you see You see that? It doesn't affect the height so far. There's probably a way to do the same thing with that system, but when we click on the plane, I can increase the height, and when we increase the subdivision, we can give it more detail, but also we can increase those settings here also, you know, those settings, this one here, play around with those kind of settings, see? And if it doesn't have so much geometry, you have to be careful. Now we have a ghost kind of like a thing, you know, like a ghost coming. If this would be a carpet, right? If this would be a carpet, ooh, ooh, huh? Understood, right? Oh, see, I used a new word, understood. Understood is not new, but I used it in the right context this time. Okay, let's delete this guy. And let's get back to the cube. Maybe we should have just kept the carpet, because it's also, it doesn't matter in this case what we use. Whatever we use is the right thing to use. Okay, but we have something to work with. It's not interesting enough though, you know. We have something, it's coolish. Is coolish a word? If not, then I just made a one. And we have something to play around with. Yeah, it's fun already, I like it. Okay, yeah, let's add to our modifier a texture. That's a little bit confusing, I know, it's, you know, but so far we only have 2 modifiers. We can hide this one to not be too overwhelmed, and now wave modifier. We still work with the wave modifier. Everything is, you know, if it looks kind of like that, that's okay. It doesn't have to look exactly as in my video, you know, yours can look a little bit different. This is not really important, but this one here will be important. We say texture, and we say add a new texture. That's it for now. Don't do anything else. That's, you know, that's all. New texture. And then we go down to texture again. It's weird. Now we have to go into this menu, textures. And now we go to, by the way, you could, if you know more about Blender, you could use player video with displacement. You know, then you have a real video with display. Just saying, it's a nice idea. I did this once and it's cool. Okay, anyway, if you don't know what I said, forget about this. It's not important. Then type, we change the texture type from image to movie to Voronoi. Play around with the other settings. It doesn't matter what you choose. You know what they look all a little bit different, but eventually it doesn't really matter which one you choose. Something you should like. I'm gonna use this with the V, and now you see the structure has changed, and we can, with intensity, we can change the whole cube a little bit. Now look at this guy here. Looks weird, and the interesting thing, it reacts to wherever this guy is placed. Cool, right? What happens though when and because this is right now. Yeah, I have to check this though a little bit. Yeah. Let me just rotate this guy. Ah yeah, okay, so we have something to work with. That's already good. Okay, I undid everything because if I don't explain. Okay, again, our cube is reacting to our empty here, right? Also, by the way, in the viewport, we can do the same thing. So when we jump into the camera, I didn't mention that, by pressing the O key on the numpad, then our, you know, we can see more a little bit, because we change when we click here on the camera again, or alternatively here in the camera, we can change this one here, see? Okay, I keep it over 30 for now, but if I, in the viewport, it's a default again. It's not 30 like the camera. If you want to match a camera view, we can do this in the viewport too. We can go here under, this is press the N key to open this window, and press view, and then change this vocal length to 32. Now we see how the camera would see it too. Okay, saving in between, we have an interesting thing to see, and the rest is almost only just light and shadow, really. Yeah, anyway, so we can still choose also something else if we don't like that so much, you know, and we can change in the modifier the way it's reacting to our little empty here. So I would say let's play around with that. We can change it to UV. That would be the UV of the cube right now. That's when you unwrap stuff. If you know what that means, it's good. If not, play around with the settings and see what they do. Over time you figure this out. This is not the purpose of today. It's not important for this video. But I think Yeah. Yeah, that's also interesting to me, you know. And I like that this is no geometry nodes. Geometry nodes are still, I don't spend time, you know, doing much with those kind of things. Yeah, maybe I'll leave it to object for now. Yeah, I'm using object for now. And that's good. Let's see what else we can add. What did I add here? Nothing more actually, only what I think I increased when I can, you know, play around with the settings, how much this is affecting the, you know, you can also have a negative impact, like so. But eventually, let's bring this guy, the empty, back to its 0 position, Alt and G. So this is the middle of the whole world, and the cube I can G and then X, just bring it here. And right now it seems that the surface, you know, it depends. Oh, what happens when okay, let's try something out. Let's select here. We have selected so that start position, so that this guy is behaving, you know, or react, or vice versa. The cube, so that the cube is reacting to the empty. We set here start position object empty, but under texture we could do a similar thing. What happens when we do that? Let's figure this out. Let's click on the empty here. Nothing so far because we are not close enough. So I can bring the cube a little bit closer to our, yeah, and see what happens when we change those settings. Nothing much. Oh, that's okay. I was just curious. I mean, it does something, that's for sure. But yeah. Yeah. Okay. Alt G. Well, we don't actually need it. We can just leave this. And I think I'm gonna use local again. There's no change, so we leave it like that for now. Under those kind of things, you can really make some interesting changes. Also, maybe I'm gonna show you how you could make a interesting card. Well, you know, maybe later. Maybe later. But yeah, maybe later. Let's do the fun stuff first. Okay. We go to the modifier tab again while the cube is active, and also maybe we can turn the cube so it seems to be only one phase is reacting to the, like mainly reacting to the cube. That's a thing. Yeah. So I would say we're gonna rotate this here 90 degrees. You can also just, you know, by G grabbing this guy, make it so that it looks fancy, you know. If you wanna have the same thing as I have, then this one is in the middle of our scene on the cube. These are the locations of the cube. The window again you get with the N key. Okay, just in case if you wanna have the same thing. When you press the T key, let's use that. We're gonna use the move thing here. Then we can, you know, positioning, depending on what you grab. If you can grab the X one, a little bit better control, right? So let's go to the modifier tab, and we're gonna make this here small again, make this one here big, and we're gonna increase the subdivisions to give it more detail. What did I have? 6 actually good. 6 is kind of okay. With your computer is okay, but the more you use it, the harder it is for your PC to calculate. So if you have not a great PC, I would say I'm gonna go with 5 in case your PC is not as strong, you know. That should be yeah, if you do Blender you have to have a relatively strong computer, so 5. Or if this is a troublemaker, go lower. Later on when you do the final render you can still increase that. The important is that you feel happy in moving this thing around. If you turn this up too much and you cannot move it so smoothly, it's not fun, you know. And for the final picture render we can still increase the render output, for example, you know. Okay, anyway, saving in between. So that looks interesting. Let's jump to the camera. Let's see how this looks. Boring, I would say. So we're gonna press Shift F. I'm gonna fly around, positioning myself. I find like a little bit top down on stuff is interesting, you know, for yeah. Also, I'm gonna increase a little bit more. I'm click on the camera here, then camera again, and then I'm gonna set this to 20. Yeah, I like this better. And now I'm gonna go make this one bigger, but it doesn't affect anything. We can also not just can we increase or change the how. Yeah, we can adjust when the camera is stopping seeing things in a distance. Right now it can only see things which are in the area of 100 meter. We can increase this to 1000 meter, and then you see now it sees the more of the plane, because the plane is huge, so we can increase it further using the whole screen, right? And so on and so on. There are other methods to actually maybe we're gonna do this too when we use lightning, that it doesn't show the lightning falls off at some point. There are ways to do that, but for now let's use this method here, and we are adjusting the camera a little bit. So right now this is my camera position. I'm gonna set this to O, give you clear numbers. It's easier to follow that. This maybe I'm gonna look down to 60. Yeah, that's good. 60 and minus 11. It's easier for you to type that in, right? 11, and this is just 9. Okay, looks good. Saving in between. So we have already something. I can turn this one here off for a second to see how this would you know, look. And we already have not much done to the scene, but we have something, right? As I would say. So we have the light source here. If I turn this on again, we can see the light. When we move around the light, this is actually very powerful. I'm gonna, you know, zoom in a little bit. The light, don't underestimate. You can do a lot of that by not understanding Blender very well, and but still creating some cool stuff when you work with light and shadow. So I'm gonna change this from point to area. It gives us a plane here or rectangle. We can zoom in and you see this a little bit better. It's very small right now. When you press S, you can make this bigger. It will impact the scene. I'm going to jump into the camera again, and you can do the same thing in, I think, here. See, you can, because this is a rectangle, we can modify it in 2 ways, or hold down Shift and then left mouse button, hold down and scroll down. Not scroll down, hold down again. Hold down Shift, left mouse key, hold the left mouse key, go down with your mouse or towards yourself. And then you see we can, you know, we have now both under control. We can change both at the same time. That's one way. Right click, cancel that. We can change this to square too and increase that. Now it's a square no matter what. I like though, we're gonna use, what is Eclipse actually? We can do the same thing. It's like a disk. Okay, but we're gonna use a disk because, yeah. So I make it so for now. Don't know if I like it. And we change the color a little bit. Just something interesting. Greenish, yeah, why not? Let's use greenish. And for now, let's jump back into the camera. How does it look? Turn this off. And also this one turn off. No, it's something, right? It could be already something, yeah. But let's make it more interesting. Let's see what else we can do with the cube. Let me just add a bevel modifier. So add deform, generate. Now I'm experimenting because this is not what I plan to do. I give bevel, but bevel at the end doesn't, you know, it's not interesting right now for me. I want to see that, yeah. Okay, we can add some a bit better like we did before. So basically, add modifier. We have selected the cube. You don't see that right now. The cube is selected. We go to the modifier tab here and we say add modifier, and then we say bevel again, and then we hold this sphere, just, you know, bring it up to the top like so, holding it down with the left mouse key, and then let's increase that. Turn this off for now so we can see it better. You know, it looks a little bit rounder, and Now we can make this one here. And see, it's already, even for my computer, the bevel is tricky. Same thing, you know, higher numbers, more geometry to calculate, so it's harder for your computer. We don't need so much, so many anyways. We maybe need 2, maybe 4, but we don't need them actually. If you like the sharp thing, you like the sharp thing. But we're gonna set this for now. Let's see, auto smooth. If this is, you know, satisfying us. In this case, auto smooth might not be a great option. It was too fast anyways, right? I clicked on the cube again, right click, and then I said it's auto smooth. Works often very well when you have like cube structures or flat or cars or whatever. In this case, we have almost like both. We have like something more like a biological thing or structure, or natural structure, and we have like a you know, like a cube structure. Anyway, so we're gonna use just smooth for now. Again, smooth, but it doesn't really, yeah, do much. Well, in this case, I would say we're gonna use 4 of those, and I'm gonna try this again. Right click. Now wait. I use flat. Yeah, okay. There's something is happening, but smooth doesn't really look smooth. So we I'm checking something. Yeah, I think the reason, I understand the reason now. I was thinking, why is that? This is weird. We can now change that from here simple. So I'm gonna go back to 2. Okay, this is my setup. You see, nothing much has changed. Bevel is first. I don't think I've changed here anything. I almost did, but I didn't. Now, because we have bevel, when we change the subdivision to this one here, it will still be, I'm going to show it, it's easier. See, when there would be no bevel, I'm going to disable that. It would be, it's also cool, right? It would be a ball, you know? So you can either change the or keep the structure, although you're using subdivision, by using simplified or simple, then it still subdivides, but it doesn't change the shape of it. But this changes the shape, tries to make everything as round as possible, you know. And you can make this not happening or interfere with that when you place a bevel at first. And at the same time, when we now have right click and smooth, the edges are really smooth. This looks more like something, what is that? Like something weird, right? Okay, I'm gonna save here in between. I have to breathe. So this is good because you know, I get excited, happy about stuff, and my system reacts quickly. Also, because I'm still sick, so everything is a little bit overreacting too fast. Anyway, so we have a cube. You can give him also, you know, a color you like, you know. This is gonna be like something like that, huh? And we keep the cube for now. Let's add more to it. Let's add more modifiers to that. Add modifier. This time we say add deform modifier. Let's do that. Let's add a deform, simple deform, and something else again. And now we can play around. Do we like that? Do we like that? Or do we like that? Oh yeah, that looks interesting. But maybe like so, maybe like so. Yeah, that could be interesting. Zip. Look at this. We get the cheese here. Or could we do, yeah, we could even do stuff like this. Okay. Yeah. And we have stretch. Oh, this is also funny. Bloop. Maybe just a little bit. We're gonna give it just a little bit of something happening. Yeah, but I don't even like it. So we're gonna. I'm curious, or better say, I'm curious what happens if I do this. Put this on top. What happens? I don't know. Nothing much. Ah. It still deforms in a more interesting way. To me at least, right? So I also have to think what I want. I don't know. Ah, this is interesting. Yeah. What happens if I place the bevel first and then subdivision next? Is this better? I think it's better, because what happens is when we place it under in here, it has more geometry to work with in a weird way. If you don't know why, it doesn't matter. You just place it like I did and just play around with it. For a long time, most of the things, and it still applies to certain degrees, I understood them in an using way, but not in an intelligent way, meaning I could not explain why certain things are happening, but I know that certain things were happening when I do certain things, and that's totally fine for a long time, and at some point you understand why. Yeah, so we're gonna play around with those settings and look at this. This is so funny to me. I love stuff like this. Okay, I think I'm gonna keep it for now like this. I'm gonna jump back into this guy here, pressing pressing O again. I'm in the camera. I cannot see the camera, so I scroll back with the mouse wheel. Happens once in a while. Yeah. What happens when I press the home key in here? You can press the home key in everywhere. Wherever you get lost in stuff, when you're in this window, pressing the home key, you zoom to the active stuff. Maybe here too, let's say. I don't know, here, not that much going on. And here the same thing, when you get lost, I don't know, like so, pressing the home key, now you're completely lost. That's good. That doesn't do what I thought it would do at all. Anyway, so if you're lost like that, although you press the home key, then you should be happy that you're not the only one. However, let's say you're getting completely lost, right? Like I did right now. But there are some things in the camera, in the list here. Click on the cube, and then I hope this must be the default key, because it's a new operating system, so it should be the default. Numpad key again. There is, I don't know how to call that guy. The key next to the O key in the numpad area, right next, the right side of the O key, between Enter and O key. This key, when you press and hold, you have to activate an object and then hold with the mouse here, and you press that, you're gonna zoom on the object you're having selected. Yeah, I don't know what the key is called. Okay, just say when you get lost. This is one, boy, did I get lost. I almost forgot how, I have my very first render. You can actually check this out, my Lastralis channel, my Let's Play channel. If you watch the intro, this is one of my, this is my very first render where I was extremely happy. And I disregarded any performance in this, because I couldn't do it better. Anyway, just saying. So you can check it out, it's still there. Yeah. So you get lost when you learn that. I still remember that now. Yeah. Okay, so, well, let's play around with the settings. Like so. Okay, good. You see, this is, if you want to have the same thing as I do, then you see the first one is bevel. Amount is, let's use a clear number again, huh? Like so. Okay, that's okay. Segments 2. Yeah, 2 is fine. And here shape, you can make this, no. Oh, this is also cool. This is also cool. I like this too. We keep that in mind, but for now, this you can change the way it's beveling it. And again, if you don't know what it means, just know you can play around with the settings. That's the important thing. Okay, then bevel is done. Subdivision, we have it set back to the, cat, mul, Clark. First time I'm reading that ever. Anyway, those are the numbers, and then simple deform we have. You see it in here. Also, by the way, I use this in my main animation for my car, for the spoiler in the car. You can make it react to an empty again. Let's do this again. Let it react to the empty. You see what happens when we move the empty around? Look at this shit. Look at this. Is this not easy to create, and it's so weird? It's so weird. Look at this. Yeah. I like it. I didn't know what I was doing today, but Jup. This is banana. We had a banana for a second. Banana! It's banana time, baby. Yeah. Okay, great. You can see I'm happy doing that. It's also so relaxing, not trying to do anything in particular. Whatever you do is a background image in some way. Yeah, let's keep it like that. Saving it. I like it. I like it a lot. It's so awesome. We can also move this guy. See? La 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 la. Okay, enough. Couldn't help myself. It's just funny. It's so often so very funny. Okay, what's next? I don't know. Let's add another source. Shift. Oh, you know what? Let's make the ground here also a little bit more banana-like. We're gonna. You cannot see that, but I select the whole ground, and now maybe the whole ground might be too much to handle. Let's add another plane. Shift A in the scene, get a plane, and then S, making it bigger. And then let's say 6, and Control A, apply scale. Now we're gonna bring this the plane up just a little bit. You know, holding down Shift and pressing left mouse key. The Shift, when I do this without Shift, it's, you know, the numbers increase faster. If I hold down Shift at the same time, I have, you know, the numbers increase slower. So I just bring it up. Just, you know, let's type in the number. It's easier, huh? The point is important. 1, just like so. That it's slightly above the ground, only slightly, and say Control S for saving the project here. It still shows up a little bit, but it's not going to be too much of a problem. We can fix that later. Now, the funny part. Hold down while the plane is still selected. Shift and press left mouse button on our main object here, and then Control L is copy modifier. Let's do this again in case I didn't say it right. Firstly, select the plane, then hold down Shift. Make sure the plane is selected. Now select the object you want to copy the modifiers from. In this case, the yellow bottle, whatever this is. We still need a name for that. Now, Control L, copy modifier. Oh, I didn't do it. Copy modifier. And now also this guy here is reacting. I'm gonna bring down the main. I'll bring this up a little bit more. It's still fighting too much. I say 0.1. That's okay for now. It's hovering in the thing, but it's okay. So now this one is also reacting in a weird way, but it's behaving very weird. I don't know if we're using that, and it's behaving weird, yeah, because of the simple deform. We have to turn this off. This is yeah, or at least disable that for now. So if I move that around, yeah. But what happens if I turn this on again and I change the axis? Huh? What is that now? I don't know. Let's see. What do we have here? I don't know. Do I like that? Maybe. Well, looks good. Looking good. Oh yeah, looking good. So. Let's rotate the object here a little bit. I know. It's hard to follow right now, but I'm not sure what I want to do. But you see, for animations also, you can, you know, right? You know what I mean, maybe. Okay, this is still not really helpful, at least now. So I'll bring it up to this one, and I just, you know, tweak some settings until something happens, and if something cool happens, I work with it. I'm gonna zoom it back in. Yeah, we need the this guy here. Bevel, actually we can it's not used right now, but we could make use of it. Bevel doesn't work with this setting on 2-dimensional objects. This only works for 3D objects, but this one will work for 2-dimension. See? Like so. So this works. But we don't actually need that for now. It's going to be round anyways because of our subdivision modifier. And the simple deform is interesting, and we can change here some settings too. Let's play around with those guys. Yeah. I know, if you cannot follow, don't worry. I'm not sure if I'm using this guy. I'm playing around. And yeah, I think I'm gonna get rid of the simple deform for now because it's too weird behaving for now. There are ways to make use of that. There are ways. Okay, I'm gonna reset the plane to Z position 0.1 again. And right now, in our case, it's actually easy to make them kind of, you know, be together in a weird way if you want. By just, you know, clicking on this guy and using the same material. Go to the material, and then I just drag and drop this material from the yellow banana thing to this guy. And now they kind of look like they would stick together, but I'm gonna say right click and say the plane, this guy, right click, should also be smooth. So now it looks like they would fit together. Not perfectly, but they're still separated in a weird way. And they're always gonna be like, you know, I don't have to get the control here back because the modifier, the wave modifier, is reacting to the empty here, right? And we maybe want to change that. Or we just say don't react to the empty. We're taking this out and we use maybe another empty. Maybe we need another empty if you want to control that better. Or we can change also some settings like this one here. And also get rid of the texture. So I'm going to show you this in case you're confused. The wave, we had a texture in the other guy. In this one, that's also good if you want to do a carpet or something like a wave, a little bit like you see in here. When you turn off this, both options, then you have this guy here, right? As you saw earlier. Okay, but if you turn one of these options off, you get a kind of like, you know, you see that. And yeah. So the only question is, how do I change? The start is here. Okay, you can also change the start. Now we have a flying carpet. For animations, that's gonna be good. Well, this is not too bad. Let's leave it for now. Let's add a new texture. We have a new texture now. So that means we could pick the texture we just created, or we create a new texture. We go to the textures, and this is a new texture now. And we choose this time, I don't know, clouds. And increase the size. Is there intensity here? Yeah. And again, choose something you like. Doesn't have to look the same, you know. Yeah, let's go back to the same thing you can use with, there is a thing called displacement, would work too. But I want to, you know, get more specific here. Okay, so I'm going to turn this. This is also interesting. This wouldn't even work with that. Why is that the case? What about this guy here? Just checking. Wave. Yeah, it's both on. Interesting. Let me just see. I don't understand why it's not reacting at all. Huh. What happens if I do that? Maybe because of the starting position. Let's set this here to I think that's the reason. Yeah, this is the reason. No, it still works. It just yeah, it's still there. This really, you can do something with it. I don't use this modifier very often, but you can also use it for, you see the negative impact? You can use it, for example, if a character steps on stuff, then it goes down a little bit in a simplified way, you know? So that's also good. Yeah, maybe, I hope you know what I'm talking about. Okay, maybe we need here a card. How could we intensify that? Like so, yeah. And this, by the way, this means, in this example we cannot see it so well, but you can limit the area when it should stop reacting, kinda. Anyway, okay, we have this one here, and we see what we can do with more detail. 6 is more detail, it's good. Yeah. Okay. And I'm gonna change the still the carpet we have, the plane, from cloud to structure. Just see what else there is. And wood. No. Okay, let's use that again, because here we have intensity, which, yeah, that's better. I think, okay, in this case, Voronoi is useful because of the intensity when we have, yeah. Let's use that for now. But again, whatever you choose and you're happy with, but for our purpose right now, we can just control that here a little bit better. And then we can also still change here those settings. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Okay, so we have this. We go. Actually, I'm going to show you this again. But maybe we're gonna do something else with that. As you see, this is also interesting, this guy here. Yeah. Okay, let's go through the settings. So this is our plane. This is bevel is not used, so I can actually get rid of that for now. So for overview, I'm gonna increase this to 5. This is also 5.5. I like to have them equal so that you always see how it would look in a final render. But this is, a personal decision. This is not, you don't have to do the same thing. But if you try to do kind of the same thing, don't be overwhelmed when it doesn't look exactly like mine. That's okay. Yeah, okay, interesting. Yeah, so let's control this here like so. That's cool. I like that. Jumping back. Sorry, I forgot. So here, a wave. Okay, this is right now motion. We have X on only. Also, if this is not looking the same, keep in mind where the object itself lies right now, and keep in mind that we apply the size of it when changing the size. Just in case. But again, if it looks, I repeat that because it's important. If it looks different, you have to be happy with that. It's your thing. It's your own background, okay? You have to feel good about the light, about the color. It's your thing, not mine. This here is mine thing, but yeah. Okay. This doesn't affect the effect because we turned it off. Okay. Yeah, and we can make it actually react to this object here. But we don't have to. No. Okay, good. Let's leave it for now. So I like this. Let's add another thing. We're gonna add I want to add actually But smooth maybe, huh? Let's see what happens when we add smooth, just smooth. And we get more control. Like so. No, I don't like smooth right now. Let's add something else, which is called shrink wrap. No, which is called, is it under generator? Yeah, solidifier. So now solidifier makes 2D planes 3-dimensional. It's another layer, like so. You see? Bloop. Okay, we're gonna add it to the ground, so it's more dimension 3D. Let's bring this on top and see how this looks. Is this better? What do you think? Maybe, huh? Let's say don't fill it. Sometimes that's between fill and unfill, it's I'm gonna show this when it's disabled. But you see the difference quickly. In this menu. So you see, this is fill, and this is not filled. Okay, in this way you can also create, you know, 2 planes if you don't fill that. And only rim means it's like a box, you know, like a cover of a box. Yes. Hold on a second. Okay, so let's continue. Let's go back to the final render. Unhide everything you can do with Alt and H. Okay, so you get the understand what's the difference. So I'm gonna use fill only rim to save some performance. You know, if this works out, I don't know. I'm gonna turn this on again and this one. So let's see. Usually without rim, it's a little bit better for the performance. And it doesn't look much different. I mean, it shows a huge difference, but it eventually, for our purpose, let's keep it. Let's keep it. Also, this is also interesting. Why is this happening? I have no idea. Well, it's good that it's doing that. Okay. Another thing I just realized that you see there is some background. Let's go to the world properties and let's say strength to 0. So there's no lightning coming from the world itself. Makes it more mysterious. And okay, the camera. Let's change the camera. Let's click on the camera and let's positioning it more centered. Let me fly around. Shift F is again helping here. Let me go back. I'm gonna undo that. I think maybe I like it. Let's just bring it here and there. What about this? We're hiding that one. Okay. And we make this rough. Okay. This is the position of our plane right now, but this maybe changes later. I'm gonna increase that. No, this is not making things better. I'm saying, yeah, I think this looks better. Okay. So let's give this also a bevel, like before. So when I turn this off and this one off, then you see this one is very sharp. Well, it would be right click and say shade flat, so that you see how sharp the corners are. And I want to make it, give it a bevel too. So generate and say bevel, and bring the bevel underneath the solidifier. This is important this time, but I'm gonna summarize it two times, and then right click on the plane and say shade smooth. Okay, now let's activate this and that. Okay, pressing O. Okay, Alt H, unhide the rest of the scene here. Going into here. Okay, clicking on the plane again. Disabling the bevel for now. I see. We have to. That's gonna be tough. I don't think we can do that. So what I wanted to do is give the edge a little bevel, but it becomes a square. I want to have the round stuff, but the good thing is we can increase the amount here. But it doesn't do what I wanted it to do. So we're gonna change it to vertices. Still doesn't work. Oh, computer is crashing. That can happen sometimes when you change modifiers with so much geometry going on right now. It can be tough. So let me think, why is this happening? What can I do about this? Yeah, I could do it in here. That would make it round. Yeah, then we need two. If I want to have it round, and then I don't maybe need this guy. No, I need it still, but a simple. No, also not. Okay. Okay, let's leave it like that. We need a bevel here, but maybe only one is enough. Okay, just see. Okay, and then we're gonna go to this. I can say duplicate and bring it down here. And now we can maybe, when we increase that, no. Okay, I know what to do. We have to change this one to that, yeah. And now we should be able to, yeah, it works. Oh, that's actually also cool. Okay, I know it's overwhelming. If you're new, don't worry, I'm gonna explain that. You only have to know. I'm gonna save you in between because I like that. Yeah. We only have to know that this is the plane, and when I disable all the modifiers, this is how it looks right now. You see? And the wave is still on. Yeah. A plane, a normal plane. This is just a position. Let's go through it in this way that it doesn't look overwhelming. I'm gonna hide the background. So, okay, we have here the plane, and this is the positioning. So I would say the positioning should be -1.8. No, what did I do? -1.8, yeah. -1.8 if you want to have the same position as I have, and y is 0.5. That's good. The height is 0.1, and that's about it. That is completely fine. That's all the plane is doing. Now, the first modifier is the bevel modifier, and that's important. The vertices is being used because the plane is two-dimensional. It's not yet three-dimensional. So for that reason, we have to use vertices for the bevel. And when I turn this on, we get control by amount. You see? That's how we control the shape in the first place. And then the next one is solidifier. That makes it thicker, right? This is just, you know, the thickness of it. The next one is bevel again. When I turn this on, now it makes that, gives more detail to the rim, to the border. And it's different to this guy, to the first bevel. First bevel does the vertices. The next bevel in line does the edges. Okay, edges, I could have just read in there, right? Okay, and with this value, it's fine, we leave it for now. The next one is subdivision. Subdivision, ket, mul, clark, 5 times. It's fine. Then that's it, closing that. And the last one is a little bit more complex here, is using the wave modifier. And with those settings, only X is on, important. This height is 1.6, width is 3.8, narrows is, in my case, 0.4. So we have starting position, nothing. no object selected, but we have starting position X is -5. So we have something, I know. And we have a new texture. And at the textures, when we go now, we have here 2 textures we can choose. We have texture, the first one for the cube and the other one for the plane. That's about it. And now we only position it. And that's, I don't want to do more, because in terms of adding objects, maybe. Sometimes it's kind of hard, unhide. And we have only 1 light source. Now I'm gonna scroll it down. We have 1 light source. We have basically already a background. We're gonna click on the camera again. Let's center this a little bit. Oh no, let's center the camera here a bit. And actually we should maybe look from this perspective. I kind of like that it's so weird cutting off there. But maybe this one is just better, like so. Okay, now we change the camera together again. So rotation is the first one 65. This one can be 0. This one is 48. Let's use 52, yeah. Okay, and saving in between. Now we select the light, Shift D to create another one. And I'm gonna rotate that by pressing R and just, you know, positioning it and see if I can do something with it. Changing the color here, make it more interesting. Making this one bigger. Or smaller. Bring it nearer. Now I have to experiment because I don't know what I want. So I'm gonna squeeze it down, give it a different color, maybe behind that guy, like so. Different color again. Could be also a point maybe. Okay, I'm gonna save it here for now. So all I did is basically added a point, has a certain kind of color. If you want to have the same color as I do, there is a way to do that. Very simple. Just type in this color code. This is hashtag OOFAFF. If you use and copy that hashtag into a different one, let's just, you know, I'm gonna copy that, select, copy it, go to my main object, go to material, go to base color, and I paste that in. It has the same color as the light. Just saying. Interesting? Yeah, I'm gonna undo that. Just if you wanna have the same thing. But I'm not so happy with the color anyways. I'm gonna change the color a little bit. And maybe also let's work with the whole color here a little bit. Makes it more mysterious right here. Let's make it white. White is also sometimes very interesting. Sometimes doing not too much of color stuff is sometimes very interesting to look at. So I'm gonna turn this here off. Yeah, that looks more professional, you know. I like the yellow though. I like the yellow because I know my girlfriend likes it. She's always like colorful, very happy about those things. So I'm gonna keep that here in, I'm gonna copy the color code because this one looks good so far. Undo that quickly. And yeah, saving it and maybe get a new material. And say this one is like so, and roughness. Okay. Now I drag and drop the color on here. Again, you can, if you like that, they have different colors. If you don't like this one here, still not, this is good. Orange looks good with that, huh? Yeah, that's good. Okay. Saving here. You know, do what you want. And you can also duplicate those guys. You can also duplicate them with Alt D. and then bring this guy somewhere else. Make it interesting, you know, like so. Like so. There, you know, don't feel limited. Just Alt D when you. I'm not gonna go through this, but when you duplicate, let's show it. If I say it, I mention it, I'm gonna show it. So this is just for showing. I'm gonna add here a cube only for you to see. Now I'm gonna duplicate this guy with select this one with Alt D, not Shift D. Now when I go into the edit mode and I change this guy, then it's sharing everything. However, this is the same object. It saves also some VRAM, but they can have different modifiers on still. So although it's the same object, it can use a different modifier. A very interesting way to duplicate things. And then you have Shift D, which is, how do I describe that? It's the same object, but it's still, you know, when I change it in edit mode, the other one will not be affected. So they are two different objects, but they're sharing some information like color and other things together. Yeah, you can also, right now you can see here currently 3 things share. If I change the color here, the whole thing is affected. If you wanna split the color, just say click on that one here, for example. So click on this guy, and now this is its own color. Now we can change this one here. See? So do what you want. And again, I'm slowing down. But if I wouldn't record, I would just place more objects in and do more other things, you know. So, but let's do something. Let's make this more like so. If you like that, you know, I'm gonna Shift D, add another make this bigger. Another light source. And this time we can use spot. But I don't think I like spot, but you can bend this a little bit, so I'll make it 5000. I'm gonna explain what I'm doing in a second when I know that I'm happy with the other light too. I know that I didn't explain the other light's position and stuff. And let's turn it off for a second. Let's see. Without giving the thing the object a color, we can make it look like the object would use a different color. And right now we use like high watts. That's because, you know, we don't have size in mind. You know, if you have like a Blender is doing that very well. If you would look, you know, use a size like a chair, you know, and bring everything closer together, we would need less watt. Just saying, that's a thing. Sun, careful with your eyes now in your dark room. Yeah. Okay. Area. Point. Maybe just a little bit, but maybe white is okay. It looks like a person almost bending over. Gonna go down to 500. Too little. 1500, 1500. Yeah. Don't know if I like that or not, actually. This is not. Okay, you see, I am playing around here a little bit. Let's use that for now. Although I'm not so sure. I think I maybe, with the whole color. But anyway, it's sometimes a little bit tricky. Okay, yeah, let's talk about the positioning, what I did, in case you want to redo that too. So we have a color source here, color 2. I just duplicated them, Shift D is always duplicating stuff. And you can do this with, lights to look at the numbers here and look at the location where it's placed. I'm going to do this again. Minus, what was that? Minus 0.65. Minus 0.65. And here we say minus 1, and minus, this is 0.2, yeah. And this one here is 7. Great. The other light sources behind has a point, 1000 watt, a radius of 1.36, and position, I would say, I mean, rotation doesn't matter because it's a globe. So no matter what we choose here, doesn't matter. This one matters, but it's, to set to 0. This is set to, but you know what? I don't want to do this over. You see the numbers here. You have to, it's too much work. But okay, the positioning is, it might be. Okay, let's do this one here. Minus 7.6. Minus 7.6. And this one is Y minus 0.05. And this is minus, this is minus, no, this is just 5.9. 5.9. Here we go. Not that it matters, but because for a YouTube tutorial it matters. I would not do that if for myself. I would not, no way that I would do that. That's simply for the YouTube stuff. I'm not that crazy. 4 just 4, I think. And this one here is 1, and this one here is 6. Here we go. Okay, let's see how this looks, and let's check how this looks in saving it when we change it to cycles. Now, when you use cycles, you wanna, if you have if you have a graphics card, check the graphics card and see which one is faster, either CPU or graphics card. In my case, it's the graphics card. And sample rate, I would say we're gonna use the denoising. Open this one. No, we don't. Just denoising makes, when it's noisy, it denoises. That's what it does. Sample rate in viewport, I use always 30. It's just much faster when we move, then it calculates only 30 samples. And for the fine render, I find 300 is completely fine for our purpose. I would go even lower. But let's just do 300. Why not? Then we have a super high quality picture. If you want to use it for your background, for your computer, and you have a different setting, usually Blender should start like with your resolution in mind, right? Whatever resolution you have on your screen is the resolution in here. And I would recommend for backgrounds to double it, to make it even more nicer looking. And furthermore, you can, if you want to copyright your thing, if you can go to output settings, scrolling down to metadata, and then you can open the node, and here you can type in copyright, and then your name, right? You can do that, and then it should be in the picture. I think that's the way how you can make sure that no one else, how you can sue people if they use yours, which you shouldn't do. Stuff like this, come on, it's not like that. But just saying. Okay. I think we covered everything. Let's render the whole guy here. Also, you can add, if you want that for your own thing, we can add a text. Shift A, and then add a text. Where is the text? But for that, I would like to step into Eve to have better control. So we're in the Eve render right now. The text is here. Press G. Where is it? Here. Then we're gonna drag the text to this position, and now you can, add this to, positioning this guy. Maybe bending it also a little bit, you know. You could do that, but I don't want to do this today. Text is not necessary in this case. We have a interesting weird thing, you know, which should not be too annoying to have. We can increase that, yeah, you know, to make it cooler. You can maybe this is another thing. Let's go to. I could maybe show how to actually. No, I don't want to overdo this. There is a way to you know, use volumetric lighting and other things also in cycles, but not for volumetric lighting in cycles, but a way to make this, yeah. But it should be simple. I don't want to overcomplicate. It's already, I said at the beginning, it would be super simple. It is like, it's simple. However, if you're new to Blender, and I also far away from my beginning, the further away you are from the beginning, the harder it is to understand how hard things can be. If you're overwhelmed, take a break. Don't you know, it's fine to be overwhelmed, because it is freaking overwhelming at the beginning. It is. Everything is very overwhelming in Blender. Anyway, just saying. Okay, but let's go to Eve, down to color management. And here we're going to change some settings too, but let's jump back to cycles again. So we have the best quality ever. Now, here we are in the render properties, cycles, GPU. Denoising is on. Might be useful, play around with the settings. And then we go to color management, and here we can simply make more changes to it. Like increase the gamma if you want that, or this one. But this is almost like the same effect we can achieve with better lighting, you know. But okay, we're gonna just see what we get here. Or you can use GIMP and manipulate it afterwards, because this is just basically like an after thing. Yeah. Anyway. I like it like not too strong, but there are some different kind of render styles. Yeah, I'm gonna go undo that. I like that. The first one is just fine, but play around with those different kind of settings. There's also shading. We could have done more a little bit, but the video is longer than I expected, so we're not gonna do everything I had in mind earlier. And compositing we certainly don't do today, because it adds to the complexity. Okay, let's render the whole thing. Let's do the render here. Let it render. And before we do that, there's always a crucial thing. Before I render something, I'm gonna cancel that for a second. I'm gonna click on my plane first, and check if the render is the final render will be identical with our result. So this one here, always check that the render, this one is 5 and this one is 5. This is the crucial stuff usually. And then we have this one here doing the same thing, 5, 5. Okay, let's render this again. If it doesn't look too good, we can increase the amount. So I'm not so happy when I zoom in. I can see this doesn't look too great. The other guy here. But I think we can also leave it like that. Let's just save the image. Also not done yet. Yeah, so save the image as, yeah, for now. I have no name for now. I have to think about the name. I always name things. It's easier for me to remember. Like so we have one. But I also, let's increase the amount of this guy here from 5 to 7. That's gonna be tough, but maybe this looks better. Yeah, it looks promising. And I'm gonna use the render. Obviously, it has also to be 7. This is just so we can see it better. And I leave it like now. I'm gonna save here and make another one. There are other ways to make this even, you know, play around with the smooth modifier, play around with all kind of things, and see what you like, you know. This is an abstract thing. There is no wrongdoing. As long as you liking it, you're gonna be happy. So let us do that one here. Same thing counts for phone formats. Check what kind of phone you have. Ask ChatGPT what resolution you should use, and use that in Blender and make your own phone backgrounds, right? Okay, save this guy as untitled twice. Untitled is 2. I'm gonna close this here. Saving, closing the thing, and see. Double click here. It is set as wallpaper, and now we have a background. Not the best. I'm not 100% satisfied with the stuff behind here. Hold on a second, son. I almost forgot that I'm already done with it. I went to the toilet. I know too much information, but I completely forgot that I still recording. I was pausing. Anyway, yeah, I think we are done. I'm not 100% satisfied here with the stuff there. But there is no ending. I can work on this forever, but I think it's good enough so that you can play around with it, create your own weird things, and make your own background, and then install Linux, check Linux out a little bit, and make your own backgrounds, right? And be happy with that. That's really also listen to me. If I listen to music, or sometimes ASMR, depending on my stress level. On my stress level, guys. I'm so stressed out. Anyway, but you know what I mean. It's a very relaxing task. It's also freeing your mind a little bit when you I have a main project and I cannot work on it. It's too overwhelming constantly, and it's only work, and I need to sometimes create something new like that. This is very relaxing to me, especially if I don't talk, just work and not record on top of everything, right? And it's so much fun to do that, and it brings me more ideas. I could now think, maybe installing here quickly, because it's a new operating system again, GIMP again, and then do some GIMP stuff with the same thing, or you could render it as without transparency and add more objects to it, and then in Photoshop, manipulating. I have so many ideas just doing that thing. It's so much fun. Okay, anyway, that's it. Bye bye. So, hey there. While I was doing the thumbnail, I forgot about to mention how important shadow is. So let's do that quickly too before I end this video here. So what we have right now, like some light scenes, right? This and that, and I would like to add a new light to the scene. I'm gonna say Shift A and say light, and we say area, and then I'm gonna bring this up here a little bit and go to the properties of the light. There's this data here, this light bulb icon. I'm gonna use here 3000 for now. And when you press the backspace key and hover with your mouse on over a value, it always resets to the default value. Even though that should be already default, sometimes it isn't. But let's do that. I'm gonna press backspace, hovering here, and this would be the default value for the shadow. So note how the shadow has become much sharper now, okay? And I can increase that, and it becomes less sharp. That can be, some depending on what you want. It can be good or bad. Also, when you change the size of it, it also does the same kind of thing. If you press, right now I have the thing here, the light. I press S, and this is almost the same effect. Okay, now let's position the shadow a little bit to make it more interesting, because again, this plays a role. So for that, I'm gonna go out of the scene and positioning this guy here. This guy here, like so for now. And let's see what this is doing. Not much, but you see we get some interesting shadows depending on the position, on the rotation, and of the size of this one here. Let's increase that. Again, we have very high numbers here. If you would have like a proper proportional real size room, like in the real world, you can actually stick to the watt, meaning 80 watt for light bulb will be like almost like in the real world. So Blender is doing a great job on those things. So note the shadow here behaving. That is something you may want, you don't want. This is hard to tell at this point. This one, oh yeah, I like this. This looks pretty interesting to me, at least. So yeah, again, a shadow is important. This should not be, I don't want to put too much effort into that. It should be something also beginner could handle. I'm not sure how well you can do. Again, even though I try to always think about the beginners, I'm too far away from that. Sometimes I forget how difficult that can be, right? I said this already in a video, but I mean it. So that's, you know, so don't feel overwhelmed. And yeah, maybe I'm gonna do series like that once in a while when I feel like, not always commenting on that, because that's the relaxing part to me is also that I shut up, you know. I love talking, I really do. I mean, obviously, you know, I don't know what drives me. I like doing the recording. It's so much fun to me. It's in my a little bit, yeah. I always like that, but doesn't mean that I have to talk always. Sometimes I love to shut up, but not now, obviously. Anyway, so you may want to play around with this, or you don't. And right now we are in Eve. Let's just decrease the number. Let's play around with this a little bit. And yeah, so the shadow here I like. Yeah, that's interesting. Also, I like more the darker stuff for backgrounds, because I got recently some problems with my eyes. So I am now, you know. But if you like bright things, you know, do it. Feel free to do what you like. Oh yeah, I like this kind of color. Keep that for now. And so let's go through that. So we added a light to the scene. Where is the light? No, not this one. No, what the heck? Where's my light? Here. Here's the light. By the way, for organization purposes, if you're new to Blender, you don't have to do it. It was so long, misplaced everything. But let's just click on that. Hold down Control. Click on this, and that. Go over with your mouse to this window here. Press M and say New Collection and say Light. Lights. Create, and now they are all here. I like to put them on top of this, because light is always like on top, right? Something like that, not like that. And also you can do the same thing with camera and stuff. Anyway, so let's save this here. Do a record? Yeah, okay, save this here. Now it's different. And also positioning the camera, change the camera position. You don't have to stick what I've chosen right now. And then we can make it more interesting if you want, or you can make it more shiny, right? The whole thing, by the way. So yeah, or this more metallic and shiny. It's overdone, but whatever you prefer, there are no limits. Again, there are other things to this what we can do. We could do yeah, like, yes, there's no end actually, no? Okay, but one thing, maybe this is, although I like it, it's a little bit very straight. So let's go and add another modifier. I have to really be careful, because, you know, adding this, adding that, and then it's super complex already. Deform, and we say smooth, simple deform again. And let's see what we can do. Yeah, how this behaves, how this looks. Oh, that's also interesting. Yeah, that's what I mean. See how we can do so many things. Bring this on top. Yeah. Not bad either. So you see there are really no limits for your creativity. No, this is not too bad. I keep it. I disable it, but I keep it in mind for later. Okay. No, let's leave it with that. The last one you can ignore. This is disabled completely. Let's okay. Just get rid of this. Okay, let's go through that again. Oh, you know what? No, it's taking too much time. But I think I showed everything important. Okay, think of the light plays a huge role, can make a drastic impact to your scene, and there are more settings. Oh, let's also do that. I forgot to show that too. Let's go to cycles, and we go to the. Am I stupid now? No, I think I'm just getting tired. That's it. So, format, yeah. So here, this is my resolution. This is a standard as a HD resolution, and I can say multiply this 2 times and multiply this 2 times, like you would use a calculator. Same principle, you know. Use a numpad, and you use those multiplication things. Same principle. Or alternatively, we could have set here 200%. I think that could work too. So if I would set this to 50%, then I would be ending up having the same resolution as before. Anyway, so we're gonna save this here and let it render again. If it renders like that, you cannot see that. Now it renders the half of the picture first and then the other one. You see here, this is not perfect. There are some glitches if you want, but they can in this case be a feature depending if you like it or not. Personally, I would like to make this, I would change more on this, maybe even using GIMP and playing around with my, you know, GIMP is just fine because it's, you know, Photoshop, it's fun too. You can do some weird things. Let me see, do I have GIMP installed? I don't think so. So it renders the scene already. Yeah, looks a little bit better. Yeah. Or, you know, I like it better. If you like it, I don't know. It's just, you know, it's hard to tell with stuff like this. So almost done. And while this is rendering, I'm gonna fire up the pop shop. And I say GIMP. I'm looking for GIMP and I'm gonna install GIMP already. Maybe quickly, you know. Just this is the program GIMP. It's available on the Linux for sure. It's open source. It's available for every program. It's a nice tool. It's this is actually, I don't know, without GIMP, if I would have jumped to Blender, hard to tell actually. But Photoshop GIMP I could learn by just using it. I rarely had to look up anything. Blender, I had to look up every little thing. There was no way that I could have learned anything without knowing where is what and what is doing what exactly. Yeah. Still denoising, and here's our final product. Let's save this here. Save it as I gave it a name too meanwhile, so it's called Yoloroa, and I'm gonna let's just keep it as B, save, and I'm gonna open it for you to see. First of all, I'm gonna save it like so, and now I'm gonna go to pictures. Now where is this thing now? Where is this thing now? That's a good question. Where did I save it? Probably this one. Blender projects, Hintergrundbilder, yeah. And is it here? Yeah, it's here. Okay. So then this is okay. This is the old one. This is the new version. See, and this is basically just. Can I show you both at the same time? Yeah, I can. Yeah. I mean, old, you know, the one is created like, you see, a little bit of a difference simply because of the shadow. we didn't do much, and to be fair, it's double the resolution, so that also plays a role. And I like the shadow on the right one better. If you like the shadow better, I don't know. I cannot say. But you see how important the shadows are. I almost missed that. And that would be, yeah, I wouldn't feel good about this. In the future, we can do more stuff like this. Like I mentioned already, I will repeat myself here. But it should be like a relaxing format for me. I don't want to waste that on making super hard tutorials. But I showed it once at least with comment. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I will though. Sometimes it's fun. Today it was fun, certainly. Okay, so that we did. Now let's open GIMP while we are at this. While I'm at this, anyways, I'm firing up GIMP, and oh, this looks completely different. I didn't check GIMP in a while, so there were some updates. They introduced themselves now with. This is a nice picture. Yeah. Oh, that's great. That is a great picture. So you install GIMP, yes, and here it is. And you don't really need much. You don't need. Did I close the thing again? Unbelievable. What am I doing here? Blender. Projects, Hintergrund. Come on, focus a little bit more. You can do it. And the second one we just put in here. Now this is our. What we could do, for example, if we could have rendered it for the people who know a little bit more. We could have rendered those objects singular without the transparent background, and it could be in this way we could manipulate them as layers. That would even be better because then it wouldn't affect the scene when we smear, for example. If you know what I mean, good. If not, it's not, whatever. It's okay. So I'm gonna use the smearing tool. This is my favorite. And then I go choose, where is it? This guy maybe. And now I have to focus a little bit. I haven't done this in a while. Yeah, this is too tough. How do I, yeah, like so. Yeah, I don't have the, I used to have a pen. Not always. I started with a mouse only, but the pen thing broke later on while I was moving to a different city. And if you pay attention, sometimes you can actually, you would know where, which is okay because it's big enough. And then you find me and give me a new computer and leave me alone. That's what I want. I want people to give me stuff and leave me alone. Don't wait for a thank you. Whatever. Bam, buddy. So. Now let's use this one here a little bit. This is not good. Undo this. And now we can make it also in Blender so nice that we don't have to do stuff like this. There is actually almost incredible ways of blurring things together also. Interesting ways to do that. Simple ways, more complex ways. But you know, why not do both when we can? I'm not sure if I should touch this guy actually. I like how he is. Maybe only this. Hard to tell. If this is better or worse, it's hard to tell. There's another tool. This one here. Which lets us do more stuff like this, right? Oh, it looks like a snail. It looks like a snail now. We could do this in like a sculpting, you know, in Blender. Sculpting is also much easier than you would think when you see like figures. And I think I know why. I would say a real world sculptor has a disadvantage to computer stuff. The simple reason is you have in sculpting the mirror mode, and I think the mirror modifier makes it much easier. Yeah. Now we get some fur too. That also fur you can do with nah, come on, you know what I'm. Yeah, and Blender too. But then again, we want to do something easy today, and everybody can do that. And I think this is even for beginners. You can do that right with your mouse. You see what I'm doing here. Sure, at the beginning when this is completely new to you, you cannot end up a result like even if this is nothing fancy or anything like that. I think, but everything new is difficult as ass, and it will take forever. So if you feel it doesn't look like that, it doesn't matter. Try something. Go and be, you know, just keep working on it, and at some point it'll become something. And it's always the case, even if you paint. If you cannot paint like I'm not a draw, but what I can do is if I draw something and after a while I start to see something and I go with whatever that is, you know, you start to see something in it. And if I do that, I can create stuff. But if I try to nail it, no, that's not me. I'm not a professional. I cannot draw. I mean, if I would keep doing although I did a painting like of a friend, I was able to do this. I was in GIMP, but much later. But yeah, at least I didn't do this on pen and paper. No, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. Not yet. Okay, so we have something. I'm saving this here. This is going to be the GIMP version, and it's already in the right path. That's good. You're going to be GIMP. GIMP, and I think I'm done. I'm going to export this as a GIMP. Yes, export. Oh God, what is that now? It takes a while. It's still it takes. Look how much time it needs to create this one here. But it's you know, it's not in a low resolution. And again, what do I say? I think I came up with something. I found this sounds pretty good actually. It's a good English sentence for, you know, what do I say? Your capability complaining about free stuff is very limited. I think this is one of the best things I ever said. One of the worst things I ever said is let me think. What do I say? What's the one of the worst things I always say? I have to really deep think about that. Probably some relationship stuff. Yeah. yeah, probably when I'm not 100% fair always, you know. Anyway, yeah, that's it. Okay, that covers it. I hope this is not too overwhelming, and you can have fun with it. And yeah, have a nice day. No, bye. You don't see it? Do you see it? Yeah. Okay. Wrong window. Okay. Got shocked I'm not recording the window here. No. You see everything. We want to look at the final result, right? Wait. Do you want to look at the final result? I almost forgot. Yeah, I closed it again. I know. Documents. No. creating Blender projects, Blender Hintergrundbilder Yolora. That's the name. I don't know what it means. It means something. It means what it means. Double click this guy. Here's our result and set as wallpaper. Here we go. Now we can close this guy. Boom. Here it is. I.O. It's done. Okay. Good. Bye bye. Have fun creating your stuff.